weird. Whatever.
Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl BondyBlue. So let's go ahead. Let's go ahead. Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl BondyBlue. Okay, follow me on Instagram and let's get into the video. Right?
Hey, everybody. Listen, how y'all doing today? It's your girl BondyBlue, and I'm back for another free 99 live that y'all really shouldn't be getting, but I just feel like it because, like, girl, I'm just in a mood. I feel like I'm in a mood to have all y'all in these comments, girl. But don't forget, Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, Love and Hip Hop Miami will be back behind my paywall, girl. All right. And I'm trying to see what me and Bam are going to do. And I'll probably like put that behind my paywall initially and then release it to everybody. You said the audio faded again. Oh, girl. Oh, girl. I can't. Like when I tell y'all I'm literally have not changed my settings whatsoever. I have not changed my settings, girl, and it's just always a mess. So I'm about to let y'all know right now. Y'all heard the cheers. Y'all heard the cheers. Yay. Okay, we in here. So I'm gonna be real cute and let y'all know. Oh, it wasn't. So people just girl, people always trying they think that if they tell me something is wrong, that's gonna like, it's really not. Like we still gonna be here, girl. We still gonna be here, girl. It's not really gonna matter. But I wanted to come to y'all first with Family or Fiance. It's 389 of y'all in here, okay? And I feel like there should be more by the time we get to the Love and Marriage Huntsville of it all and the deleted scene of which I do have.
Like, don't get up here and act like I ever tried to touch you. I've ever came close to you. I've never done anything. I was nervous about blood. But you said you were nervous. Like you weren't going around trying to.
We gonna get into it. Listen, we gonna get into the thing, okay? So please come in, like, subscribe, have a seat, share the video, follow me. Follow me all over the place, girl. Follow me at BondyBlue, at Blue Rose Bondy on Twitter. I'm on there, but I'm not really on there. But follow me, girl, because I'm a red hot pimp. Also, do me a favor, please follow my secondary page, BondyBlue Bites. I'm about to release some new content on there today, and I'll be releasing more this week so I can get caught up. So please, don't forget, go check out BondyBlue Bites. It is where I cut up my lives and repost the clips over there. Okay. So subscribe, girl. Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. But I feel like y'all would want to hear me talk about this. Those of y'all that did not watch Family or Fiance, let me tell y'all right quick before y'all leave, before y'all feel like I don't give up about no Family or Fiance, before y'all even get there, girl, these two people are third cousins. These two people are third cousins and they came on Family or Fiance because they want their family to be okay with the fact that they're engaged and they want to get married. And let me tell y'all how fucked up it is, girl. Let me tell y'all how fucked it is. Okay. So basically, his dad's mom and her mom's grandmother, I believe, are sisters. Okay. So apparently, her mama and him are first cousins or second cousins. Their parents are first cousins. So his mama and her mom's mom are first cousins or something like that. Yeah, I think that's what it is. Either way, y'all, this is not that far removed, right? This is not that far removed at all, to the point that he actually grew up with her mom. Like, that's my cousin. Like, we grew up together. Oh yeah, when I say grew up, it's because there is a what? How many year difference, y'all? She was 18, he was 30. How many year difference is that? Let me know. So already we have a huge age gap. Y'all are family members. Y'all are cousins. Y'all look alike. Y'all going to get y'all nails done together to the point that they both have colors and sparkles and sprinkles on the nail polish, bitch. And I'm not mad about it because I feel like people should express themselves however they see fit. That don't mean nothing to me, but I'm just pointing out how intertwined they are because her little girl, she got 6 kids. Both of them still married. I'm not done. Girl, both of them still married. I'm not done. Both of them are still married. He filed for divorce. She did not. Her reasoning for not filing for divorce is because she has 6 children. And out of her 6 children, only one of them came to support her, and that's her daughter, Lyric. And Lyric feels like her mom starts to act fake and changes how she is whenever James is around. So this is James and Jamaica, girl. James and Jamaica, they cousins. They have a large age gap difference. She got 6 kids, still married to the previous husband. The rest of the kids that she got, they on their daddy side. The rest of the children, they on their daddy side. Okay? And I just kind of feel like I hate how this feels like y'all might be a little bit regressed. I'm going to say regressed. Because to me, I feel like the woman is desperate on some level, because why do you want to be with your old ass cousin that really like is more so like an uncle, bitch? Like, why do you want to be with this man? And then he's so problematic. Peep. So he got a daughter, right? He had a daughter and his 2 homegirls come. Now, biologically, he kept saying, I have 2 biological daughters and then I have 3 daughters from a previous marriage that I helped raise. Normally, you would think that's all well and good. And I remember we were having a conversation about paternity tests and all of that. And I remember expressing to y'all that I feel like people are far more focused on DNA than I feel like they should be, because essentially, most of the time it's because these niggas don't want to be the daddy anyway. Whether they are the father or they are not the father, a lot of the times this is more so about them not wanting to be the father than it really is about, oh, it's all these women lying. Yes, there are women lying. Please don't get me wrong. And it's not okay. But I made the point that there's always some nigga out there that is not there for his biological children, but he will be the best father in the world to somebody else's kids. And this was the point that I was making, that a lot of the times everybody's acting like, oh, it's because that's wrong and it's about what's right. And it's like, y'all really don't give a fuck about that. Y'all really, really don't. But only when you can slut shame a woman behind it. Like, that's usually a situation where the woman is completely wrong and there are no ifs, ands, or buts about it, right? You lied about the paternity of your child. You ain't shit. You a hoe out here, right? That's the mentality. That is usually the only time y'all can push a woman into a you are completely bad in this situation corner. Outside of that, there's always some like give somewhere. So for me, I feel like because that is usually the only situation where y'all can completely shame a woman, y'all feel so very, very strongly about the DNA test thing. And like I said, that's not a problem for me. I don't really give a fuck. That's not my problem to have. Like what Kimmy has said, girl, that's not my line of questioning. That's not my line of questioning. Because at the end of the day, I'm one of them people that, child, please, I would definitely know who the pappy was. I would know who the pappy was. And not only would I know who the pappy was, if I felt like you wasn't really the daddy, I wouldn't go out bad like that. I tell you the truth. I tell you the truth. I wouldn't even go out bad like that, because at the end of the day, on some level, I feel like I'm the type of woman that anybody would be with me and raise a child. Like, I just kind of feel like it's not go, girl, what? Like, I would just tell the truth. Like, this is me personally. It would be hard, but I would just tell the truth and take the L, because I just kind of feel like I'm going to be able to take care of whatever child I have. I would be able to take care of my child on my own anyway. So I'm not about to lie for years and go through all of that guilt that you go through for a prolonged period of time, all for your child to hate you because you ain't tell them the truth when you could have just got that shit out from the beginning. You feel me? So this situation is a prime example of why I feel like it's not really about, oh, women really just be out here lying. It's really about the fact that niggas don't want to have to be responsible for children. Like, especially if they're not theirs. They barely want to be there for the kids that's theirs. And this was the perfect example of that. The way this man was willing to have these repeated uncomfortable conversations when it came to this very weird dynamic, but could not have a conversation with his children, was insane to me. It was insane to me. Okay. So let me get into the notes so we could just run through it real quick. And then after I get through this, we're gonna get into Love and Marriage Huntsville, girl. But this shit was so messy. I had to come to y'all with it. Okay. So they met at a funeral, bitch. They met at a funeral. Like I said, she was 18, he was 30. Their mutual cousin died. Now, is it just I'm gonna tell y'all what I think. I could be wrong. And like I said, I'm always open to being wrong. It's not that deep. But I feel like something happened between the two of them at that fucking funeral. I feel like something happened after the funeral. Y'all know how you cousins be. Y'all go out, y'all drink after a family function, y'all go get fucked up, try to have a good time, and then, ooh, there you done fucked your cousin. Like, now, I'm not saying that something's ever happened with me. I'm just saying I know me and my cousins will go and get fucked up together. Like, but no, okay. Everybody, like, we so first cousins to me. My cousins damn near are siblings to me. Like, that's how I feel about mostly all of my cousins. I feel like there is a more sibling vibe to it than cousins. Okay. So for me, it's like, no, I don't even understand what you're talking about, but I know how you go out with your people after a family function and how y'all get fucked up together. This is why I feel like them two had something that happened way back in the day in 99 at that funeral. So like I said, his dad's mom and her mom's grandmother are sisters. They don't have any DNA markers, so they went and got checked for DNA markers. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They went and did the DNA testing. I said, girl, it still don't matter. Y'all look alike. The fuck? DNA, ooh, DNA matters so much. Y'all still cousins, bitch. Y'all ain't got no DNA markers that match. Y'all still family though. Y'all was down to the same funeral, bitch. Your mama and him used to play together, okay? Like it wasn't play cousins. That was two real cousins that grew up together, and now he fucking the cousin that he grew up with daughter. That's insane to me, y'all. That is insane to me. I have a cousin that I am very close to, my favorite cousin in the world. Shout out, look, well, boy cousin, bitch. I'm gonna say it like that because I don't want Jenny to feel no type of way, okay? Because she really my first favorite cousin, okay? But my favorite, I have buku favorite cousins, but Jermaine, Jermaine introduced me to my husband, so that's like my favorite cousin, right? Boy cousin. That would be like me smashing one of his kids when they get, girl, what the that's wild to me. Like I'm so uncomfortable. Oh my God. But I need it to be clear because I need to see how close the shit is. And that is literally how that girl, no, everybody go to hell. Everybody go to hell. Anyway, so like I said, they was both still married. He actually filed for divorce. He's been married 3 times. They met for after the 99, they met in recent times in August and got engaged by October. So they already rushing the situation. That's another reason why I feel like y'all lying about what has happened in a timeline of y'all relationship. Talking about they only seen each other 4 or 5 times. Y'all a nasty ass lie. Anyway, she hasn't filed because of the kids. I told y'all that. It's always because of the kids, isn't it, Peter? Get the fuck out of here. No one likes this shit. No one. Nobody's here for it at all. Okay. Kiana, his daughter, isn't feeling it. His homeboy, Umek, says that he involves himself way too much in Jamaica's life. Like he's way too involved in that woman's life. Now, at first, I'm looking at it like what he's supposed to do. But then as everybody starts to explain, I was like, yeah, because apparently she can't even go get her nails done with her little girl without this nigga popping up trying to go get his nails done the same way. So yeah, I understand. She can't even, I know what that's like. I feel like my sister dealt with that a lot with my daddy. Like they're so enmeshed that you don't have a chance to really be with your parent on your own without the other person being there. And sometimes the other person does not like to share the energy. They don't. They want all the attention to be on them. And women are so quick to like acquiesce to that type of dynamic where you in your mind think, oh, it's a family thing. But really, this is the man forcing all of y'all to be together so that he can take your attention away from the child because he always wants all of your attention. So yeah, it is definitely a situation where I'm looking at it like, nah, ain't none of this right. I also feel there's an abusive thing going on here. She's giving off abuse victim vibe, and he's giving off abuser vibe to me. And that's just my feelings on it, y'all. Okay. Then you add that age differentiation. It's definitely given she's being controlled by him in some respects. Either way, neither one of his homeboys knew about the shit until right before they came to the show. Yemek feels like James needs to fix things with his daughter. So Kiana, his daughter, is the only one that's there. He has 2 daughters. The oldest one does not speak to him at all. And it's like, so you could do all of this so you could be in a relationship with your fucking cousin, but you can't apply no pressure when it comes to working shit out with your daughter, who you have like delusions about how you were there for her. So in his mind, he's always been there for her. And whenever she starts crying, he feels like she's just playing victim. And I'm like, is she? When Tracy sat them down and they talked, he said that, yeah, I wasn't around as much when me and her mom broke up. When did you and her mom break up? When Kiana was 5. If the girl was 5 years old when you left the household and that is when she started to feel the absence of you, then you add the fact that he will go and get married and then move out of state in order to be with the woman that he just married. So constantly being pulled away from the children, constantly choosing those relationships over his children. And Kiana felt like it was crazy to me how I watched him be a better parent to somebody else's kids than he was to us, to the point that even now she has to sit there and listen to how Kiana's daughter feels about him coming into her life. And this is when I want her to recognize that he was never that good of a daddy to them girls neither. It just looked like that because he had not fucked up so badly with them. If you start off, with this man coming into the picture without him ever really having to disappoint those daughters, he keeps starting off with, like a clean slate. He keeps starting off with a clean slate with children that have already been raised for the most part. It seems like he don't really want to play a part in the lives of the children when you actually have to be there raising them. And you come in with these pre-made families, act as if you're a good dad so it can make you look and feel like a good guy, so you can make yourself feel better about the fact that you're not there for your biological children. Like, that's what I feel like he has been doing this entire time. But when Lyric says she felt like her mom is fake and he interferes with the relationship and the mom acts different, I think that gave Kiana the perspective that she needed to see, that he's not being a better father to those other people the way you thought he was. He not. He not being a better parent. He not being a better father. He being the same fuck nigga he was to you. It's just that he gets to start off with a clean slate with somebody else's kids. He don't have to do the fixing work that it requires. That's just what it is, if you ask me. Okay? So several times throughout the episode, Jamaica and his homeboy and the other women that were there were telling him he needed to go and hug his daughter. She's crying. You need to be affectionate, especially after she found out that Jamaica lost a child. Apparently, Jamaica got pregnant for James and lost a child. And everybody was like, that's what the Lord was trying to save you. The Lord was trying to save you, bitch. The Lord was trying to save you. Cause you was about to have a baby for a nigga that ain't been there for none of his biological kids, girl. You know you sound slow, huh? You know you sound slow, huh? You sitting up there can't even tell him you feel like he wrong because he gonna get defensive. But you was ready to go and have a child for him, talking about y'all wanted a family. I was just like, he can't even take responsibility and accountability for the ones he already have. Why would you give him more kids? You already have 6. Oh, let me guess. Because the other 6 kids mad at you for whatever happened with their daddy, you feel like you can start over too, right? You can go and have a new kid that is not angry with you, so you don't have to deal with the loss of your other children being mad at you for the breakdown in the relationship between you and their daddy. Yeah, y'all got to stop running from accountability and just deal with the fact that y'all have made decisions that have fucked up y'all's relationships with y'all children. I feel like the way people apply pressure in relationships is the way they should be applying pressure when it comes to their children and their family. And I think it's crazy that you would move out of state. You will go above and beyond for some bitches that you're going to eventually divorce. But your own biological children could be crying in your face, your homeboy crying, telling you, you need to go do something. You need to go say something. Life is too short. And you feel like your daughter is playing victim. She's not playing victim, nigga. She is the victim. She is. Talking about everybody feels sorry for her. I've been doing all that, and didn't nobody give a fuck. Sir, you're the parent. And that's the thing that I feel like a lot of people and a lot of niggas specifically have a hard time with understanding. You are the parent. You are the one that fucked this up. So you have to fix it, which means sometimes they're gonna reject you, and you need to be okay with that rejection, and you need to keep fucking trying, because what you're not thinking about is how often your daughter has felt rejected by you and still showed up to be embarrassed out the ass about you trying to marry your fucking cousin. Like, that's embarrassing for her or for anybody that's linked to y'all. This shit is embarrassing. And you invited them people on this show, and you couldn't even apologize to your daughter in a way that showcased, I'm sorry, and I'ma still be here. I'm sorry. Please don't go. Please don't leave. You should have took her bag out the fucking car, because that's what she wanted. And you let her leave anyway because you ain't want to try that hard with your daughter, right? Because that feel too bad. Nigga ain't shit. Nigga ain't shit at all. When the homeboy was sitting in there crying, talking about sometimes you just got to tell them what they want to hear. Bruh, it spoke volumes to me for his friend to be like, sometimes you just have to tell them what they want to hear. And isn't, to me, it's really about, you know what your daughter need. You know what this will require. But your ego is so out of whack that you feel like you can't kneel down in front of your daughter who really you fucked up the relationship with. That's wild. That's wild. You know, listen, I understand. I understand that whenever we have these conversations, y'all always want to make sure that we're clear. It's not just the men. It's, women do this too. And I feel like we know that, but what we see more often than not is women still being there and men being able to leave and go restart these families at a larger rate than the women. That is what I've seen. I have seen more single mothers than single fathers. So even though my dad was a single father, but I still feel like what I have seen around me more is men being able to tap out whenever they feel like it. Being able to go and create families in other places means that I can disrupt this household, leave this household, go to the other one, disrupt that one, and be gone long enough for this family to let the time have made them miss me. So now I can go back to them, and then it'll give them time to stop being mad. Like, niggas have been doing this for years. So even though, yes, women do it, I totally get it. I hate the way we can't just focus on one version of this scenario as if the numbers are equal. They're not. They're not. I feel like I saw something somewhere that said 80% of single parents are mothers. I could be wrong, but I feel like somewhere I read that. I could be wrong, but I need to Google it to make sure. Somebody Google it to make sure. But it is weird to me, and yes, women have a hard time taking accountability as well. Reginae and Toya, anybody? Nita, anybody? Like, come on now. We know. It's a whole look. Jim Jones mama, Tisha mama, okay? Apparently Destiny's mama. It's a bunch of mamas out there that ain't shit, that have caused their daughters to be insecure and ain't shit people. We gonna segue into Love and Marriage Huntsville with that one. Essentially, these people decided not to get married. However, that man is not about to do anything to make this situation any better. I think this lady over here needs to come to her senses, go heal from the divorce or whatever happened in that previous marriage, and get some goddamn sense about her, because entering into this relationship does not feel healthy. It feels like a trauma response. So yeah, you need to go ahead and get that together, because that's something we shouldn't do. All right, y'all. So this what I'm gonna need for y'all to do. First of all, don't forget, I can't wait, y'all. When I tell y'all, if nothing this year has made me can't reset by design wellness, girl. This year so far, it is just February. And when I tell y'all I can't wait to go to somebody else's country and breathe somebody else's air for a little while, I'm gonna come back. Okay? I think. But Reset by Design Wellness is making it more comfortable for me to possibly not come back. Okay? I love y'all for real. So if y'all want to get into it, how we travel around the world, go to Reset by Design Wellness. You heard me? Go to the Instagram, all of that shit. Do that there. Okay, and y'all missed it. Lyric had me up in here drinking my mushroom coffee. Okay, you heard me. Just Move supplements. Get into it. There's a whole bunch of conversation about Black-owned businesses. I heard y'all. I heard what y'all said out there. And I feel like, this one of the best ones. This one of them ones that you can support without feeling like, not really only supporting your bitch ass because you Black, but you don't keep the right hours and your customer service is trash. And I don't really like dealing with y'all, and your product don't really be that consistent. But I want to support the Black-owned business. So this ain't them. Just Move supplements ain't like that. Okay. They not. You're gonna get your order quick. Everybody's responsive. It's a family endeavor. Okay. The products are very well made. And my girl is standing on business when it comes to retaining the integrity of her company and not selling out like a lot of the Black hair care brands like to do. Hello. I'm not mad at you. That's what you do in business. I'm still gonna need for y'all to start more businesses though. Cause see, that's what we're missing. Y'all be starting businesses and feeding them into the monster, but then you don't start another business behind that. And that's what the white people do when they claim that that's what you're supposed to be doing. They will sell one business and then go start up another business. Okay. So, some of y'all listen. But get into it. That's my ads. That's what I got for y'all on ads. Okay. Like the video, and we're about to get into Love and Marriage Huntsville. Okay. Don't be in the bushes hating on me. Like my video. Why they playing? They've been playing this whole time. Hot. Ain't nobody gonna have me hot. All right, y'all. We back. We back. Okay. So I just, girl, let me listen. I feel like what this all showed me is that a lot of y'all a lot of y'all really worked on my nerves when it came to Letitia. Cause y'all know, like I have a love-hate relationship with Letitia. At the end of the day, my estimation of Letitia is that she strives to be better than what she was raised by. But I feel like she was raised by an insecure young woman that has not really matured in her age. So the wisdom has not grown, even though the age has. And I feel as if Letitia is an example of somebody that's trying to rise above the circumstances they were born into, but there are some traumas that just cause personality defects, right? And I think when it comes to women that have immature or ain't shit moms, they tend to have a very hard time having genuine relationships with other women. Okay. I don't care what nobody's talking about. Y'all have had a double standard for Mel and everybody else on this show. Mel has not done anything outside of what everybody else on this show has done as far as making comments about each other's personal lives. Go watch the seasons. They have the same conversation every fucking season about how Mel is the only one that said some shit and she was not the only one that said some shit. And I have repeatedly said that Letitia is one of the main culprits of always trying to act like nothing is wrong, but she really don't like Mel, and it's been going on since season 1. I feel like she thought she could use Mel, but she was also jealous of Mel. I've always felt that way. And I feel like Kimmy kind of did the same type of shit. That is evidenced in the first season when Mel invites Letitia and Kimmy over to her house to get massages and shit for free. And they sat there and made Mel cry because they wanted to tell Mel how bougie she is and how she's always on social media. These are things that nobody should be coming to somebody about. Bitch, who cares? If she not your cup of tea, why are you at her house? But nobody should have to change being bougie or how much they post on social media just so you don't come to their house and try to rib them about it and make them feel bad about who they are. That's the first time I can remember that y'all was basically using the same shit that y'all think is advantage when y'all are with Mel. Y'all like to throw that shit in her face. Y'all have been doing that since season 1, to be very clear, Tisha and Kimmy. But what was so clear to me was watching Tisha, who obviously needed to go get her hair done, go and sit down with Mel and ask Mel her advice on how to get back out there in the workplace. Mel took her to an event, introduced her to some people, and then she left from Mel and then went to the hair salon with Kimmy and told Kimmy how Mel was acting like she was trying to give me the blueprint. Can you believe that? Like laughing at Mel as if you weren't trying to get advice from her. You turned around and acted as if whatever type of help she was giving, you didn't really want it and you were above it. Tisha, that's the very first time I clocked how you were using Mel and then also shitting on her behind her back. That's the first time I clocked that shit. It has been done repeatedly. And I have argued across the screen with some of my favorite YouTubers about Letitia because they feel like Letitia has been right in the way she's handled Mel. Mel really did try to ruin her relationship. Bullshit. Bullshit. It ain't never been about that. Because with any accusation that Mel might have had, there was always something else going on for us to feel like Marceau couldn't be trusted. So acting like it was always Mel was a lie from the very beginning. So when I said that and y'all disagreed with me, I want us to fast forward to now and we find out that this whole conversation that was edited out, a huge chunk of it was from some shit Letitia said when she was mad at Martell. And that doesn't even make any sense. Why would you use Martell getting head from Melody in the back of a limo on their 10th anniversary in front of y'all? Why would you use that to make Martell look bad? Because in my world, that doesn't make Martell look bad. It makes him look like a freak. It makes Mel look bad that she would be that freak in front of these people who she can't trust. So then I have to have a conversation about, did that actually happen or was it something said in jest and it was a joke? And Tisha then turned around and used that conversation as a way to make it seem like Mel was just a slut. And she's consistently done that. Let's not forget, anytime Martell wanted to throw out there that Melody was cheating on him just as much as he was cheating on her, anytime that has been said, Tisha has been somewhere to back up that assertion. Tisha has been in a confessional. Well, I mean, that's what he said, that Mel was out here and Mel was cheating and Mel was doing this. Also, I don't think it helps that Marceau has always kept a very warm spot in his heart for Mel. Marceau is always flirting, low-key. And I do think that he extends himself in these arguments in a way that showcases he's a little bit more on Mel's side because it's logical at that moment. Unless he wants to be petty about something, he always has his motives for why he agrees or disagrees. But throughout the seasons, I feel like we have seen repeatedly Marceau go above and beyond to keep somewhat of a rapport with Melody, even when Tisha was uncomfortable with it. So if Tisha wants to act like Mel said something, inappropriate in a text, girl, please. Yo nigga been on that lady since the beginning. Cut it out. Cut it the fuck out. You have been insecure about Mel for a long time. And I do feel like niggas that like to keep control of their women like to create triangulation, meaning comment on how much you love or like another woman so that you can make the woman sitting in front of you feel insecure, like she got shit on her back or something. So yeah, no. I know the mind games niggas play, and I feel like Marceau has always been playing mind games with Tisha as it pertains to Mel. And that's another reason why Wanda and Tisha have consistently been going after Mel over the years. Yeah, let's get into it. Let's get into it. So let's be fucking for real. Destiny and Letitia's relationship at base level is only a friendship because both of y'all was mad at Mel. Both of y'all didn't like Mel, so y'all became friends. That's what we surmised after a reunion show where all of a sudden, well, I haven't been talking to Mel, so I don't know what's been going on with her. And then Mel hears you and Tisha in the hotel room next to her talking shit about her. We never got the specifics of that. Maybe that was the conversation. Because I'm wondering now, like, I feel like the way they was throwing information out, the way the shit was edited, we don't know what part was from what part. But we do recall there was a conversation that Tisha and Destiny had at some point that was about Mel, and Mel didn't want to say what the conversation was about. And I feel like this might have been the conversation that Mel was willing to suck her husband's penis in a limo in front of their friends on her 10th anniversary. And I would feel like the only way I would feel like that was cool is if the other people in the limo had done things similar around you in the past. That's the only way I would feel like that was okay. And I low-key felt like Tisha might have been the only one that wasn't down for it, but Kimmy might have been down for it. Because Kimmy was like, well, who told you that? And that makes me feel like Kimmy would have been down for that shit. Because I think we all feel like Kimmy is willing to do whatever to keep Maurice's freak at bay, right? And so I do feel like that's some shit that they would have did. Okay? But we listen. I'm just giving y'all how I feel straight off rip. I'm telling y'all this whole shit happened because Tisha consistently pretends like she's cool with Mel and she doesn't have a problem. And then she does some little slick shit behind the scenes. She's been doing that consistently for years. I just want y'all to clock it now. I want y'all to stop acting like y'all don't see it. Tisha has been doing this over and over and over and over again throughout the seasons, throwing a rock and hiding her hand and acting like she didn't do some shit. Let's be very clear. We know she was one of the first people filming scenes with Trisha, right? One of the first people filming scenes with Trisha. Also the person that brought Cordon Bleu to Mel's event so that we could find out about the sex tape situation in the first fucking place. All roads will always in some way intersect with Letitia when it comes to some bullshit. Like, I'm just saying, when it comes to trying to bring some bullshit on the show to push Mel into a corner, I feel like Tisha is always the person that is used in order to do those things. Not that I feel like it's always her idea. I don't feel like it's always her idea. But I do feel like she dislikes Mel so much. And on a deep level, I think it's an envy thing that she is willing to continue to act like it's all good in front of everybody, but do these little sneak dish shit type things behind the scenes. Okay. I also feel like everybody's going way too hard for Destiny. Everybody's going way too hard for Destiny because, to be very clear, Destiny did not protect Letitia. We gonna act like that scene didn't happen. You told Martell that y'all was gonna be having lunch, and Martell pops up, and Letitia gets up and walks out. And to be clear, if she had stayed, she would have just got cussed out all over again without her nigga being there to balance it out. Because let's be very, 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 very clear. Martell said that he didn't feel like he did nothing wrong like that. Martell was very clear he didn't feel like he did nothing wrong like that. And we ain't hear shit from you. Tisha, we heard Tisha was the one that went and bailed Destiny ass out of fucking jail. But you set her up several times to have some type of back and forth with Martell so that she could be on the embarrassing end of some shit. Everybody acting like that shit don't happen either. I'm gonna let y'all keep, listen, I'm gonna let y'all keep bullshitting. Okay? I'm gonna let y'all keep bullshitting. Okay? Let me run through my notes and then we're gonna play this scene that was left out. Okay? I got it. I'm ready. Okay? So we join the beginning of the reunion with Kimmy gathering Mel. I hope everybody's happy. Shout out to Kimmy. She gathered Mel. Okay. Kimmy gathered Mel. Okay. Because, bitch, you always trying to make us have a conversation with you. We always got to come and check in with Mel. We always got to come in and have a conversation and talk some shit out when it comes to Mel. But when it comes to us, Mel don't feel like she got to say nothing. She don't feel like she got to do nothing. I'm like, girl, that's the same way you handle shit when you don't want to talk about it, when you don't want to deal with it. You just don't answer questions either. And that DUI situation was the perfect example of that. When you don't feel like answering some questions, you do the same shit, girl. What about the way you acted as if it wasn't a gotcha moment when that picture was posted of Maurice being down to the big back Atlanta trip? Remember when they said the niggas was down there with the big backs? Ariane said that, right? Ariane got up there on Tasha K and told us, came to us with the bullshit that Maurice was down to the Atlanta trip that the men took, where she was there with Martell, and there was some big back women there for Maurice and Marceau. Maurice tried to lie about it at the reunion show, and so Marceau posted the picture, I believe. I was just like, I don't know what's going on with these niggas, but these niggas is low-key throwing each other under the bus. I remember when that happened. Okay? But either way, Kimmy felt like she gathered mail. She was shaking her ponytail, bitch. Okay? You want to talk about my man, but you don't want to talk about that fake butt job you got. Okay? And I was just like, girl, I guess. To me, at the end of the day, if you going off on me about a nigga that's disrespecting you for the upteen time, you ain't really gathering out a motherfucking thing to me. You not really gathering anything when this is really about Maurice. Who is this really about? Maurice. Where the fuck was Maurice, Kimmy? You can keep your chin in the air all you want to, ma'am. Listen, we can Felicia Rashad the fuck out this situation. What? I have no idea what you mean. I have no idea what you mean. My nigga has never been a cheater. I know he had to fuck 6 women in one day. I know he couldn't leave me alone while I was going through chemo. But my nigga, a cheater? Girl, what? What? Girl, I was willing to suck dick in the back of the limo as well. Okay, I wasn't trying to lose mine. Tisha's the only one that's not willing to do whatever for her man, except deal with him cheating on her child. You know what I'm saying? She the onlyest one. The rest of us was willing to do whatever we needed to do. Girl, slop on the knob like corn on the cob. Check in with me. Hey, then do your job. What? Lay on the bed and give me head. Look, I could listen. That make me feel like y'all was probably doing all that nasty shit, right? Y'all was like the kitty girl, right? Like, oh, y'all hoes not eating ass. Like, whoa. Let me tell you something. Nigga ass ain't never been pretty enough for all that. Like, I don't know what everybody's going through. I don't know what anybody's going through, girl, but I'm gonna let y'all have it. I'm not kink shaming. I'm not kink shaming, okay? Because listen, who knows? Okay, my husband is sitting right here. This is why I'm saying this. Okay, who knows? But at the end of the day, my God, it definitely feels like you wasn't really gathering mail. But if that's what everybody wants to say happened, then we'll say that's what happened. Okay, we'll say that's what happened. Okay, they say, hey, Larry. He said, hey. Okay. All right, listen. And then she said, just wait for all the facts. I said about the DUI, please stop playing with my intelligence. Destiny was laughing way too hard in these scenes. I feel like Destiny was laughing way too hard in these scenes. I feel like Destiny, the animosity that you showcase towards Melody is really unwarranted and weird as fuck. And you act like somebody that's mad that they can't smash no more. Like you act like somebody that was trying to smash and you thought you was gonna smash and you didn't smash. And so now you mad about it. Like that's how you acting. That's how you acting, girl. I'ma just let you know. You and Martell, okay, the Martella meters, ain't that what you said, babe? Like before they even said it, what was it?
No. It's funny that Melody said that.
Yeah.
Calling them the Martella Mafia.
The Martella marketers. That was really good, my nigga. Because don't they feel like they get on the phone and just keep talking and talking and talking until they get, and you just give them the fucking money so they leave you alone. No, you listen, trying to manipulate you out of your money or your coochie at all times. Okay, the Martella marketers. Okay, put it out there. Put it on a t-shirt, Martell. We just gave you something. Okay, you're welcome. I want 30%, nigga. I know I'm not gonna get it anyway. So Destiny was laughing too hard. Mel says, I never said that y'all can't bring y'all feelings to me. I never said that. Okay. Kimmy, honestly, the fact that that was even said is stupid because essentially Kimmy has just had all of y'all on the stage laughing in agreement that whenever Mel has an issue with y'all, y'all have a sit down conversation. When it comes to y'all issues with her, I feel like I've repeatedly seen Mel sit down with y'all and have conversations, and she just knows how to not answer the question based on how she don't want to answer it, but she's still gonna sit down and talk to you. So to me, the fact that they're even saying that, I'm like, she's not really handling it any different than how you handle it when it's something that you don't want to talk about. So I at all times wish that Mel would just say what the fuck it is. But Mel really likes to hold them. She really likes to hold them until she got to come out and give you like, a long-winded answer about some shit. But essentially, she does a passive aggressive thing that I wish she would just spit it the fuck out and tell people exactly what the issue is, exactly how she feel. But like Marceau eventually is going to say, if Mel feels like something is stupid, she will have a mindset that I'm not even about to respond to that dumbass shit. And I kind of low key understand it, but it's a reality show and people just run with anything. So you have to say what shit is sometimes so that people don't turn it into something else. Because that's exactly what they'll do. Your non-answer will become an answer. Okay. So when we get to that clip, listen, we'll talk about it then. Destiny interjects and says that they just aren't received. Destiny, you don't receive anybody's apology. You don't receive anybody's apology, ma'am. I can think of at least 3 times where somebody came to you trying to apologize and you basically gave them your ass to kiss. When Stormy bought you that Gucci bag so y'all could be Gucci and you lost it, y'all still became cool after that, but you still like dead ass act like you lost a Gucci bag that somebody gave you because you ain't want to be cool with her that bad, okay? Sonny apologized to you several times. You still wanted the issue. When you and Mel was on that trip, y'all had the come to Jesus moment and you went to her and told her you were sorry. And then when y'all got home, you got on interviews and started talking shit about her again before she ever said anything about you. So to be clear, when are you actually serious about receiving apologies? When do you actually hear when somebody's sorry? Because I really feel like, oh yeah. And what about when you and Kimmy got into it and we had to hear about how she called that nigga the Chicken King for 2 or 3 fucking seasons after you joined the show because she called that nigga the Chicken King. Was he or was he not the Chicken King? Was he or was he not the Chicken King? For what we understand, the nigga was selling chicken. The chicken was good. like you made a compliment into a problem. And you've repeatedly done that. What about the Valentine's Day event where everybody kept asking Destiny what the fuck was the problem between her and Mel? Ask Mel. Ask Mel. That's why you and Stormy got into it and you threw a chair at Stormy. If I recall, that's what they said happened. I wasn't there. But they said you threw a chair and you was really upset. And you still didn't want to tell us what the issue was with Melody back then. So excuse the fuck out of me if I don't want to hear from her about how Mel isn't receiving anything. Girl. Come on, hypocrisy. Come on, hypocrisy. Come with it. Because it's only hypocrisy when Mel do it, right? When everybody else do it, we don't see it. It didn't happen. It's only a thing when Mel does it, right? Okay, cool. I'm not playing these games with y'all. Okay. And Mel says that's what she was doing at the taco party. Girl, I want to watch that clip back of the taco party. That was another time. Destiny prolonged the beef with Tiffany. Because Tiffany confused her with Mel Nika. It's like, well, we sorry that Martell seems to have a type, bitch. Our bad. LeBerick and Martell seem to have a type. Okay? And I'm trying to understand what's going on with LeBaric and Martell, because they were supposed to be BFFs and all of that, but it feels like your best friend might have fucked your old lady at some point. So I'm trying to understand what's going on there. Somebody get back to me on that. Marceau says, hey Mel, they're trying to gather you. You got to get your gathering. I didn't even know what this meant. On some level, I felt like Marceau was joking, like, Mel, you got to let them gather you, girl. You got to take this spanking that they giving you, kind of being sarcastic. Like, we know this is some bullshit, but just go along with it so everybody could feel like they got what they needed to say off their chest, since we know that's what everybody here to do, to dog pile on top of Mel. That's what we was here to do, okay? That's why Stormy is the surprise guest, right? Why the fuck is that a surprise? It's a surprise that she's not there, considering the fact that she was there for most of this season. Why would she not be here just because she quit the show? Like, y'all don't know how to do shit. You was supposed to do this like Akeisha, girl. You was supposed to still do the reunion show and then quit after the fact, girl. Like, oh my God. Then you gonna show up in a tight ass dress, acting like we was supposed to be the surprise. Bitch, I paused it. I said, girl, that's Stormy. What we talking about? That's not a surprise. A surprise would have been Ariane, ho. A surprise would have been somebody that could tell us that they saw Trisha outside the grassy knoll. Like, somebody. I saw Trisha outside. I was putting my garbage cans outside, and she was wearing one of them terrible blonde wigs. I saw that bitch. I know exactly what she looked like, because I remember thinking to myself, oh, wow, she got a nice body, but that's a terrible wig. And I was just, I'm stacking my garbage cans outside. And I knew that Mel was out of town because I'm the neighbor. And, I know Mel. So I knew she was out of town. So I knew that nigga was going to be up to something. So, of course, as soon as I saw a bitch outside, I was slowly bringing my. Where's that witness? We need that witness. Where's that witness, y'all? We need somebody that has seen these things. Like, where are these people at? Okay, because I know there's somebody on the street that has never been interviewed before. Okay, I've been watching the O.J. Simpson documentary on Netflix, and apparently, people, if they tell a story to the wrong person, then none of it gets entered into evidence. Okay, we need the evidence. So Carlos says that Kimmy didn't get the answers that she wanted from Mel, but there seemed to be a mutual respect. There's a line of which they don't cross with one another. And I just kind of feel like he was reminding Kimmy of that, because Kimmy obviously had a lot of energy for Mel. And I think a lot of it probably was edited out. Mel says, at the end of the day, she don't understand what the problem is, because when she have these conversations with people, and they seem to have the come to Jesus moment, and everybody's happy after it's over, and then she find out later on y'all mad about some shit that she didn't even know about, i.e. Nell Fletcher. They had a lighthearted conversation, laughed and all of that, chopped it up. Now I find out 6 weeks later you mad about some shit. Maurice, well, why do you think that is, Melody? Huh, Mel? Why do you think that is? And I was just, I don't know, nigga, ask them. But I would have wanted to hear his long, drawn out dissertation about what that meant about my personality, because apparently he has a psychology degree, or he must be really good at reading people, because every time you turn around, Maurice is about to ask you a question that is doing what exactly? What was that word? That speculation. It's speculating. I felt like in that moment, Maurice must have been speculating something about Mel being the type of person that people don't feel comfortable sharing their issues with. Was that a speculation moment, Maurice, whatever the fuck, like, Jesus Christ? Like, y'all, I swear to God, niggas talk about when I do it. Oh, is it really that much of an issue? Oh, okay. Listen, Mel says, I don't know. You have to ask her. Nell instantly gets emotional. It's given in her mind. They started to play music behind her as she was giving this speech, and she knew they would edit it that way. Like, low key, it was like if somebody started playing like Young and the Restless music in the background. Doom, 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 doom. That's how I feel. Like, imagine that music behind Nell giving her speech, because she said something. And I just was really upset. And it pissed me off. Okay? Because I had spent so much time. I had spent hours and hours and hours. And yes, it was mostly me talking to Martell. And I don't know why I was mostly talking to Martell, but by God, I was talking to Martell. And I was talking to her too. And I spent so many hours, and I wasn't there with my mama. And I could have been there with my mama. But instead, I was there with her and him and trying to make them get back together. And I just kind of feel like, to be clear, all you motherfuckers kept interjecting into them people's relationship because y'all wanted them to stay together. because them staying together protects everybody's secrets. I think everybody fucking knew that if Mel and Martell broke up, that a lot of shit would come out in the process, and everybody was trying to protect their shit. So that's why Nell and Chris Fletcher and Maurice and Kimmy and Tisha and Marceau wanted to give all this fucking advice to Mel and Martell, when at the end of the day, y'all are not even dealing with the fact that some of this shit is going on in y'all's houses and we're not even talking about it. So how you gonna come to me and tell me how I'm supposed to handle some shit that you're not even being upfront about? I think that is how Mel and Martell started to think about the Scotts after a while, and the Fletchers. We just didn't really know the Fletchers at first, but they was all a part of this shit either way. Y'all aggravating as fuck because everybody going through shit. Everybody cheating, everybody lying, but we just gonna keep acting like it was only Martell, it was only Mel. And I get it, okay? I get it. You want to keep the lie alive if you can, but y'all are not really keeping the lie alive, because I feel like nobody with brain cells watching this show thinks that Maurice has never cheated on Kimmy, or thinks that Marceau has never cheated on Tisha. None of us with fucking brain cells thinks that those things never happen. We absolutely think those things happen, whether we saw them or not. Do you know how hard it is to prove that two people fucked in a room where nobody else was? Do you know how hard it is to prove that? It's very hard to prove that. If you wasn't in a room, you can say it till you green in the face. But if you don't have no picture, video evidence, it's hard to prove that shit. But we could have context clues for years about how these people have been moving, though, right? Context clues galore to let us know that they knew what was going on. They was going on trips together. There were other women in the mix, because one of the side hoes already told us. Okay? And she said it out of anger. And then Martell got mad at her because she said it. Because that shit he keeps trying to hold so he can control the people around him. Because y'all know Martell really don't like to work for nothing. He don't really like the work. That's why he want another woman like Mel. He can't get the same amount of work out of a bitch like Ariane. She don't have the same amount of sense. So she's not going to do the amount of work that needs to be done for him to have the image that he had when he was with Mel. That's why he's looking for somebody that's like Mel. That's why Ariane is never enough, because she was never enough, which is why that conversation of asking, if he was really in love with her, y'all put 20 on 10 to buck Ariane head up to make her feel like she was so fucking special, that was the reason why he was cheating on his wife, because she was so special. No, there were many hoes. Trisha was one of them. There were many hoes. And y'all just acted like they weren't. So there's that. It made him look better if he was just in love with somebody else. That was never the situation. That nigga don't know what love is. In my opinion, Martell displays the type of behaviors that showcases he does not know what love is. He does not know how to make the necessary sacrifices that I believe real love takes, not even with his children. No matter how everybody like to act like, oh, Martell's a good dad because he ain't missed a beat. He has not missed a beat because having access to the children helps him have access to Melody. He has not been able to put his feelings about Mel to the side in order to be a good parent to his children. That's not what he did. He went to court and tried to take custody from Mel when he couldn't even afford to pay for all of those children. Now you got old girl over here online and people wondering if her baby is okay. But he never went and tried to get full custody of Ariane's baby, the one he could probably afford to take care of on his own. But okay. So I know I went on a tangent, but y'all gonna fuck with me on this one. Mel laughed in her face talking about Nell. Nell says it was majority Martell, but she put in time with both of them until the wee hours of the morning. Chris at that time says that she could have been with her mom. And I do feel like that was some shit y'all was using to make Mel look bad. I do. Because how am I supposed to be responsible for sacrifices that you were willing to make? If you felt it was more dire for you to be with your mom, then that's where you should have been. Trying to put that on Mel as if I was doing so much to help you for y'all to stay together. Girl, that was a vanity project for you. That made y'all feel good about yourselves, that y'all could offer them some advice on how to stay together after a nigga didn't embarrass the fuck out you. But at the end of the day, what we come to understand is that Chris and Martell are two different type of fuck niggas. Martell is the type of fuck nigga that really don't care about his woman feelings at all. Not even to the point of wanting to manipulate her into staying. Chris is the type of nigga that will check all of that shit because at the end of the day, he knows he wants his home life more than anything. And hoes come and go. You can always find a hoe that will shut up. You can always find a hoe that will sign an NDA, apparently. You can always find a hoe that will stay in her place for a certain amount of money a month. Okay? So you don't like burn your family bridge down over some girl like Martell did. But Martell is a little slow. So that's the reason why he would do that, because he's a little slow. I don't know if y'all have been paying attention, if y'all grew up with kids or men or boys in high school that was in high school for 2 or 3 extra years. Martell is that type. They'll be attractive. They know how to talk to people, but essentially when it all brought down to it, you see that they're not firing on all cylinders all the time, because they'll do shit like, cut off their own nose to spite their face. Meaning you was trying to hurt Mel by putting Ariane on a pedestal, but you still wanted to keep Mel. And Mel kept saying, stop doing this to me. Please stop doing this to me. And you didn't stop because you were jealous of her on some level. So you had to keep doing shit to hurt her. And by way of hurting her was putting a battery in Ariane's back to say and do things. And that's why Ariane get online and do all of this other shit. He was the one that was convincing her to say a lot of the shit that she said, because whenever she said something he didn't want her to say, he was calling and she was getting her ass off live. Or if she said she was going to do it, we never saw it. Y'all remember how many times she would get her ass on the internet talking about, I'm going to come and I'm going to say this and it wouldn't happen? It's because Martell would tell her, bitch, I will leave you alone forever. I will leave you in your peasantry if you don't stop playing with me. Okay? And then she would shut it down. Okay, y'all are not going to confuse me. All right? Mel looks like she's trying to stop herself from saying something. Marceau says, Mel, you're not taking your gathering. Mel says, shh, just let Miss Nell finish. Nell says that she still holds her ground when it comes to Mel. She's forgiven her, but they aren't back to where they are. Even saying that there was something to be forgiven for. Like, at the end of the day, I felt like when Mel was laughing at her, you were being an asshole, but you're being an asshole for a reason. And it's because you feel like as soon as it was convenient for Nell threw you under the bus. And I feel like she did the same thing. Honestly, I feel like it's the same thing that Stormy did. Excuse me, it's the same thing that Destiny did. And then it makes it seem as if, oh, Mel is just this terrible friend. When really, these are people that are coming to you because they want something from you. And once you have this reality show opportunity, people are coming to you and showing friendship towards you because they want to be on the show. They get on the show and then they immediately start to attach themselves to the group because they want to solidify themselves as cast members on the show. They don't want to just be Mel's friend, because if you're just Mel's friend, that means that you're just a friend to the show. And it was very obvious to me that repeatedly people would act like they was on Mel's side until they realized that production and the rest of the people on the show were not. I want to be on the show. So I gotta let Mel, do what she gonna do, and I gotta go and do the most with these other people. To me, Stormy did the fucking most to befriend Destiny. You also went out of your way to do all of them little videos with the Scots and all of that shit. So if somebody is talking about, they coming on the show pretending like they speaking up for me. That's what Stormy was doing. Mel didn't even ask her to do that. And honestly, Mel told her to stop doing that. When her and Destiny got into it, Mel was like, you ain't even got to do all of that. Like, I don't know what her problem is, but you ain't got to, I got my own back. It's fine. Because Tisha was one of the main ones that was saying that Stormy was just being an attack dog for Mel. Because anybody that comes on the show with Mel at some point is going to be called an attack dog for her by somebody else on the other side. Okay? It happens every fucking time. So to me, Nell Fletcher is no different than Destiny and no different than Stormy. People that really just wanted to be on this show and be a part of this cast more than they wanted to be Mel's friend. And so at times when you do kind of have to pick a side, they would toe a line that I feel like will make Mel feel uncomfortable. Mel is not going to give most of y'all the satisfaction of responding because it's like, okay, I see how you're moving. Now I'm just going to move accordingly. I'm not going to have a conversation with you because I already told y'all how I felt because we already talked about it. I feel like at every front, she probably had already talked to Nell, already talked to, Destiny. She had already talked to these people and told them, the Scots and them don't fuck with me. They keep doing little slick shit. They on Martell's side. Y'all would just be like, okay, cool. We still gonna go over here and kick it with them. And then she would just stop talking to y'all. Because every time somebody fell out with her, it was, oh, she just stopped talking to us. It wasn't that she actually did something. She stopped talking to us. Even Tisha. Tisha didn't stop fucking with Mel because, oh, Mel was trying to ruin my marriage. She got mad at Mel because at some point she didn't have access to Mel. She was mad about that. I listen, I remember a lot when it comes to these storylines. And I definitely remember the first time Tisha really got mad at Mel was not just about, oh, that conversation. It was because, yes, at that conversation, I just kind of feel like you've been acting different. I feel like, I haven't been seeing you as much. And then Mel goes to explain, well, when I found out my husband was cheating, I found out that you knew what the fuck was going on. You know what I'm saying? Like, be fucking for real, y'all. Don't nobody ever want to be real about this shit. Just y'all just be out there in the comments running it, talking, just saying shit, no facts behind it, just going along with shit you done seen typed over and over and over again. I know if somebody, if I feel like a situation has been a certain way, I know it mean a person got to be perfect, right? That's what that mean. Even though I done already said I don't like how she handles shit sometimes, we still gonna act like I ain't say that. So that's why it don't even make no point in me paying attention to what y'all saying in the comments. Okay, I'm gonna look at them super chats though. Thank you. Um, let's see. Tisha says that Mel doesn't own anything. She gets defensive. I feel like the same thing can be said about Tisha. True. Cool. Mel says Kimmy was very rah-rah when she goes backstage. She was like, Kimmy was very rah-rah, and I don't know where that was coming from. She was like, it feels like everybody came with a game plan. The Martella meters on that side, and the people that Martell don't fuck with are on this side, me, Marceau, and Tisha. And I was like, that is kind of true. Like, if y'all look at it, y'all notice how there are 3 people on one side, and they put like, why this wasn't spread out? I mean, is it just me? Let me see. No, eventually they going, no, this is still way more people on one side than the other because Destiny is there. Like, they a fucking couple or something like that. Like, and then it's Mel by herself and then just these 2. Damn, we couldn't get like, no, we couldn't have somebody on the other side, girl. I don't know. But when the other people come out, Trisha and Ken, they'll sit on the other side as well. But it did kind of showcase that there was a mindset behind the way they set up the stage, right? So, oh, I'm gonna make sure I don't miss nothing. Okay. So Mel said that when it comes to Nell, that she never asked Nell to counsel her. I ain't never asked her to help me. And I don't know if that's true. But Mel said, if I'm actually thinking about it, I don't ever remember. And I could feel like that's a possibility because this is how this works. Martell is the one that will keep trying to get other people to come into the situation and be on his side. And I think then it would, ask Mel, ask her why. So then they go and talk to Mel about it, right? This brings Mel into the situation. So now we're all having this conversation and everybody is intending on trying to help the couple. But I do feel like on some level, there's probably truth to the fact that Mel didn't really ask anybody for their help, but people wanted them to be together. So people were interjecting as their friends. I mean, it makes sense. That's what they did on Married to Medicine. Like when, any of the couples are breaking up on Married to Medicine, then everybody's being involved so that they can keep them from breaking up. That's what kept Jackie and Curtis together. That's what kept Cecil and Simone together. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like at times that's what friend groups kind of do. And it doesn't make it right or wrong, but it definitely happens. Okay. Um, we get a package on Destiny coming back. Mel didn't receive the apology saying that Miss Van was pimping out Mel. Okay, so that was another time where I felt like, okay. So I've told y'all that Destiny, I've noticed that Destiny doesn't have the mentality she claims to have because she really presents in a very like intelligent and control of herself manner, but she's really not like that. Like she really acts like a teenager in her mind. And I think that the way she handles situations showcases that because she's very humbuggish. She always has she has a chip on her shoulder. Like to be very real, Destiny has a chip on her shoulder and she's had a chip on her shoulder ever since we first met her with the first time with her having beef with Kimmy over the Chicken King shit. Okay. fast forward to now, and what is the issue with Mel? Why is there still an issue with Mel? How many times do y'all need to talk about things that have already happened and you still act like you have an issue with Mel? To the point that you would say out your mouth that Mel's mom, Miss Van, was pimping Melody out, and y'all need to have a conversation about that. You didn't want to talk about where you got that from. And I'm going to say it again because I've said it before. I believe that you got that shit from Ariane, because Ariane was going around talking about how allegedly when Mel was young, something happened to her. And I'm not going to get into the specifics because I don't know. I don't care. It's not my business. And it's never been something that Mel, I feel like, has talked about. So to me, that's even more fucked up that she will put that shit out there and then frame it in a way to make it seem like, Miss Van was like intentionally trying to put her daughter in harm's way, when I don't feel like that was ever the case, if that is something that happened. And that's even that's just so fucked up to insinuate and to say. So when Destiny threw that shit out there the first time, she didn't want to explain that that's where she got that shit from. She didn't want to explain that it was really about some shit that was about Mel as a child and some shit that Ariane has put out there. She's gotten a lot of the shit that she's thrown out about Mel from Martell and Ariane and the shit they've said online. So we've noticed those things. There was a date with Lance that we didn't get a chance to see. You could tell that they wasn't going to showcase it because it wasn't well lit. It was like somebody went out there with a cell phone. Is she using Lance for a storyline? She says no, she doesn't have to use him for a storyline. She's attracted to him. Carlos asks how old Destiny is, and she says grown. She don't want to tell you how old she really is. Like, why? Why? Why do you not want to say how old you really are when we know you went to school with Martell? Girl, make it make fucking sense. And or at the same time as him. So you have to be around the same age. You have to be around 40. When he asked the age difference, she says 6 or 7 years, and Nell is like 9 years. So Nell is letting it be known that she don't really see it for Destiny, and that Destiny is a liar. That's what I feel like we're getting from Miss Nell about Destiny. Okay. um Carlos asked if she thought Lance was attractive when she was with Moses, and was it like, ooh? And she was like, well, I had a man right, at that time. So no, it wasn't like, ooh, but Lance has always been attractive. Carlos was really trying to catch her ass up. Carlos looks at Martell and says, well, sometimes that doesn't matter. And I was like, Carlos, are you just pointing out the fact that Martell is a whore? Or are you pointing out that something was going on between Martell and Destiny? We'll get to that when we play that other clip, because I feel like they touched on that in that clip. Yeah. So Carlos asked Nell how she feels about Destiny dating Lance. Nell says, I don't know, because she did tell me she was 42. Carlos asked what Lance had said about Destiny. And Nell says, well, that she's a nice lady and they have a good time together. And Carlos said, he called her a lady. And Destiny says, well, because I am one. And Carlos kind of looks down like, okay. Because really, listen, I don't slut shame nobody, because I feel like every grown woman should do whatever they want to do with their coochie. But it feel like, you might be spreading it low and wide. So I don't know. I don't know if you're really a lady or you just, kind of showcase the image of one. But anyway, they asked, would you like Destiny as a daughter-in-law? And Nell says, at one point I did, but I don't feel that way now. And I need to get to know her a little bit more now. And Nell looks her up and down, and Tisha was clocking it. Oh no, like not that up and down look. I said, Tisha, shut up. Martell says, just tell her you're 42. Martell was very much showcasing that he was on Destiny's side, which lets me know there was absolutely a conversation to have a united front against Mel. And also just to protect Destiny. I feel like he's been doing that consistently, trying to protect Destiny. And I think it's because he feels she's the only one that defends him or has his back on the show. And I think she does that either because she's fucking with him or because it's a way to get a reaction or to, maybe piss Mel off. I think she likes to do things to piss people off because she's petty. Um, Carlos tells her, start dating other men because they don't like you like that. And Nell says, that's messy, Carlos, and that's not true. Carlos says that he was just joking. You weren't joking. You were serious. He was like, listen, Miss Nell, just don't yell at me and don't come to my house trying to beat me up. I said, when did Nell show up to somebody's house trying to beat them up? Y'all, when did that happen? Somebody let me know. Somebody let me know when. When did Nell show up to somebody's house trying to beat them up? because whenever Carlos says something, he says it for a reason. So when he threw that out there, I kind of felt like he was specifically talking about something that she did. So Nell, who you beat up? Anyway, so Sunny is brought out. Girl, girl, why they both got red dresses on? But the thing about it is, Destiny, you just got yours. So I don't know why we about to act like, this was her copying off of you. Cause I low key feel like it was possibly you copying off of her. I'm wondering if you saw Sunny's dress and decided to go and get something to, combat what she had, because your dress definitely looked better than hers, but it was boat red. I also feel like Destiny having blonde hair was also a copycat moment. I feel like when Destiny wanted to be a singer, that was a copycat moment. I feel like when Destiny decided that she wanted to have a big dick energy candle line, that was a copycat moment, bitch. Like it's a lot of copycat moments going on as far as I'm concerned. It's giving single black female, I would be a little worried. Okay. So girl, when Sunny said Moses is there in spirit, I was just like, oh girl, you just so like, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm not gonna get past the fact that for me, Sunny is thirsty. Sunny is thirsty and low in self-esteem. And it doesn't matter how much she holds her head up and sticks her titties out and has, vagina hands as she explains bullshit to us. You definitely were being used in order to upset that lady. And I feel like on some level you wanted a man so bad, especially a man that looked like him, and he probably was blowing your back out. So I just feel like at that time you was gonna choose that man. But I also feel like a lot of the women on this cast would choose the man if they were put in the same situation. I feel like if they really wanted the man, they would always choose the man. And when Sunny clocked Tisha, because Tisha was chiming in talking about how that's something trifling to do. She not calling Sunny trifling, but I would never mess with my friend's man. And Sunny was like, didn't Martell tell us that you fucked one of Marceau's friends? And you said in college, and now you saying that didn't happen? That didn't happen, babe. When I was Sunny, yeah, don't come back, Sunny, because you didn't even give the appropriate amount of energy. Because I would have been like, well, that's what Martell said, babe. And on the show, you the one that said that it happened in college. So that sounds like a confirmation to me, babe. Like, no, it wouldn't have went down like that. It wouldn't have went down like that at all, because Tisha had a lot of smoke for that situation. And I was just like, girl, what producer fucked Marceau? What producer fucked Marceau? What producer was flirting with Marceau and making you feel uncomfortable? And that's the reason why you are projecting this energy, because you got way too much energy for this situation. It makes me feel like it's something that you might have suspected, and not with Sunny, but somebody else. Who's the producer you suspect Marceau possibly was fucking with, Tisha? Let me know. Because it's given you're projecting your own issue onto this issue. Sunny says that everybody to get their facts straight. Moses and Destiny were not together when they got together. I'ma just tell y'all this. I don't care what she's talking about. You started doing IVF way too soon. You weren't even married to him. You had met him in a matter of months. You're married to him. The nigga just got out of jail. You are definitely giving desperate for a man, love after lockup vibes. I do feel like you knew he was using you to piss Destiny off, but you went along with it because you wanted a man that bad. I also feel like, again, possibly prison dick. Okay. But I don't feel like he married her to get back at Destiny. I don't feel like he married her to get back at Destiny. I think he married her because he realized how much she would do for him. And wasn't he like dealing with charges and shit? Like, you somebody that's got to deal with charges. I feel like being with somebody like her probably seemed like a good idea to somebody that probably have, a nice little comfortable life going for herself. She has her TV credit. She has access to certain people. I believe that people do like to come on this show so that they can sun other people. I do. I feel like Tisha used this show to sun her family, to sun Kiki. We saw that situation take place. I feel like a lot of people use this show to sun people, and I think that she was doing that. I feel like Destiny was like low key using this show to try to sun Sonny and Moses. I also feel like Moses recognized that. So he wanted to use it to sun her. So he wants to come on the show so that he can piss Destiny off. Do I feel like he married her for that? No. But do I feel like he got with her for that reason? Yes, I do. I do. I just think he felt like, "Oh, jackpot, thirsty bitch. She gonna do whatever I want her to do. If I go back to jail, she gonna hold me down. She gonna be there for me. Look how much she willing to do for me, and she don't even really know me like that." That I feel like he just felt like he basically caught a lick with Sonny. Is what I think. Why he married her. That was not really about Destiny, but I do feel like he sought her out and started dating her with the intention of hurting Destiny and bothering her. I do. I think birds of a feather flock together, and you're petty, Destiny. So he would be petty with you as well. That's what I think. Yep. And again, Sonny's just thirsty for a man. So he must have been pouring it on good enough for her to feel like it was worth embarrassing herself for. I also feel like I don't know if she wanted to come on the show as much as he wanted to come on the show. I do think he wanted to come on the show. I don't think it was to talk to Destiny. I don't think he had any real words for Destiny. I think it was just to be like, "Nan, nanny, boo, boo. Nan, nanny, boo, boo." It was the same thing Martell did with dating Sheree Whitfield and getting on Real Housewives of Atlanta. He knows that for Mel, it's a big deal to be this person on social media and in reality TV world and to be friends with the other reality TV stars on Bravo. Like that's always a signifier that somebody is really in, they really in a know. They in the clique. They out here, right? They have put themselves in the friend group with everybody else that's, on Bravo. And that's bigger than the shows on OWN. But when everybody click up, it's a good look, right? I think Martell knows that. So Martell was trying to one up Mel by getting with Sheree. That wasn't really about Sheree. That was something to make Mel mad. Like, "Oh, I got on Real Housewives of Atlanta before you." Like, that's what that was about. So I feel like this nigga Moses was doing the exact same thing with Destiny. And I feel like what Destiny don't understand is that you continuing to give people all of this energy. I think it proves that you still feeling away. And then it makes the man feel like you still wanna fuck them because what did this nigga tell all of the other men? That she still want me, but my wife ain't going for it. But if I wanted Destiny, I could have her. That's what all of your energy towards them makes him feel. That's why you're not supposed to give motherfuckers no energy. You're supposed to act like they not there. You getting mad every time that girl is in a scene just kinda showcases that you not over it, and you feel like if he was gonna marry somebody, why would he marry her instead of marrying you, who he had that longer relationship with? But you're not an easier person to deal with is what it seems. It seems as if she's an easier person to deal with. She's probably more easily manipulated than you are. You should really take that shit as a sign of of you being a stronger minded woman. That really should be a pat on the back to you, a compliment in real life. Okay. But you let it upset you over and over again. Um Sunny says that she didn't date one of my hold on, I read that. Hold on. Okay, Mel was laughing because to her it sounds crazy that someone would get married to someone just to talk to Destiny when they could have called her on the phone. And when they went backstage, Sunny was like, and he could have showed up for her on this show at any point, and he didn't do that neither. Okay. Destiny said that in July they came up with this storyline. So basically, it's another moment of Destiny mad in the moment that Mel was laughing at her. So she decides to just kind of throw something out there. Oh, Mel and Sonny came up with this storyline. So then Carlos has to say, actually, no. Mel did not know that even though that she was gonna be at the podcast thing, Mel did not know. When I found out they were together, I had Marcus reach out. So even if Mel wanted her to be on the show, my decision was made without any conversation with Mel about it. So don't put it on Mel like it was her trying to set you up. And to me, Destiny is the type of person that's going to accuse you of the very thing that she's doing. And I feel like her and a few of them had come together and had conversations about how they were going to go at Mel when they got to this reunion show. So to me, you're projecting. This is what you just did, but you're going to act like that's what Mel and Sonny were doing. When at the end of the day, like you could tell that Mel is having Sonny's back because Sonny has been kind to her in comparison to the rest of y'all. Also, I feel like she's doing it to piss some of y'all off. Like, we all petty, bitch. So if y'all got a problem with her, I'm gonna be cool with her because she nice to me. And I don't like y'all either. Since y'all like to click up and be against me, I'm gonna do the same shit. Oh well. That's what I feel like. Also, she probably don't like seeing Sunny get dog piled on, and I do low key like it annoys me as well. Like I still feel like Sunny is thirsty, but the way they would, wanting to do, all this extra shit. Like, please give me a fucking break. Give me a fucking break. Okay, like y'all don't even like Destiny like that, and y'all going through all of this for her. Like, please stop. Anyway, Carlos asked Sunny what made her come on the show. And he says, hold on, wait. Carlos asked Sunny what made her come. And he saw, I'm sorry, my nose got messed up, but I feel like I just told y'all that. Kimmy asked, so y'all didn't talk about coming on the show prior to the podcast. And Sunny says, absolutely not. Carlos, and I think they talking about the Dear Future Wifey podcast that Destiny did, talking about the situation. That's when they decided that they were going to, come on the show. And I think that's the podcast that made Carlos reach out to them in the first place. So Destiny is the one that really put the shit out there that got them on the show. Um, and Carlos also says that, we told you what happened, so it didn't happen behind your back because Destiny has been acting like a victim in all of this entire time. And that's what I've been saying. She's fucking exhausting. She just wants to be wronged in the situation. Carlos says that folks deserve grace because being on the show is hard. Destiny says, I told her that. Carlos like, let me finish, baby. Okay. Carlos uses Stormy and Destiny as an example. They fought and became friends. And that was a moment where we could have like been very judgmental of Destiny, but she was protected and everybody got past it. Destiny says, yeah, but she continued to come for me, Carlos. She said something about my son. And Carlos was like, hold up, just let me finish, let me land it. And Destiny was like, okay, I hope so. And they give each other a look. When I tell you Carlos and Destiny was not feeling each other at all at this reunion show, bitch, they was not feeling each other at all. I would not be surprised if she wasn't coming back, but we'll see. Carlos says, it's over now. Is there a way for y'all to forgive? And Sunny says that, listen, I'm good, but I'm not about to continue to apologize to her because I've apologized to her at least 2 times. And every time she doesn't really receive it. And Destiny brings up how Sunny insinuated that Destiny didn't know the paternity of her son. And, she wants to go off about that. And I'm going to tell y'all right now, I'm not biting. I'm not biting that. Because at the end of the day, we all were trying to figure out why LeBaric would hand you divorce papers while you were still healing from having a baby. After it seemed as if he really wanted that baby, he married you. Like, why the fuck would he dismiss you so soon after you had a baby? It was common sense to a lot of us after we had looked at it all that, yeah, he probably thought that the baby wasn't his and then later found out that the baby was his. But just the fact that there was a question was enough for him to not want to fuck with you no more and to be having your ass back and forth in court when he know you broke and you don't have no money like that. Okay? So for me, I feel like Destiny is lying when she says she always knew the paternity. Okay, girl, whatever. Your baby daddy was not sure of the paternity is what it seemed like to us from back then. So this has been talked about before. Sunny bringing it up and acting like she had proof was like, okay, girl, but we've been surmised that. We've been surmised that. So I don't know why we still talking about that situation. It's over. But I guess Sunny wanted to bring that up because she was tired of Destiny talking about her on the podcast. They were reviewing the podcast. I just feel like people need to stand on the shit that they do. And Sunny was like, she could feel how she felt about it. That's fine. And Tisha was like, well, you said you were keep Tisha, shut the fuck up. Like, please, Tisha, shut up. Because Sunny really didn't give a fuck. And she was showing that she didn't give a fuck. So whatever. Um, Mel goes to check on Sunny when the scene wraps, and Sunny says that Destiny is angry and likes to hold on to shit. Mel says that she hadn't really seen Sunny since 2022, so I don't know why you're trying to act like we met up. And they discuss how it didn't make sense for Moses to marry Sunny just to talk to Destiny when, he could have just showed up anytime. He could have called you anytime. Sunny says that he could have showed up when he was her boyfriend and he didn't. So, that's that on that. So then Trisha and Ken come out wearing different shades of green. I said this should showcase how them people is not on the same page. She had on forest green, he had on emerald. So first, Martell acted like he didn't know Trisha. Then he tells Stormy that she came over a couple of times. Trisha was lying the entire time. After they play the package, Martell gets up to walk away, and Carlos says, simmer down, Martell. Trisha says that she was new to the show, so she did not know what to lie about. And when everybody was like, oh, so you was confused on telling the truth, I was like, man, give me a motherfucking break. There are several people on this stage that y'all have allowed to not say shit or to lie about something that's happened. Y'all have lied lies up here before. So yes, she was not sure what she needed to lie about just yet, because everybody's lying about shit on this cast. Let's be very clear. So Carlos asked very direct questions. And I want to tell y'all that every question that was asked, Trisha shook her head yes and said no. To me, that is a signifier that you're lying. Carlos asked, did y'all have sex? Did y'all kiss? Did he send dick pics? She says, no, no, no. All of that to me screams you're a liar. Your body language won't even let you lie the way you want to lie. You're a liar. I think that you did all of those things. She says no, but shakes her head yes. He expressed how much he still loved Mel. I think that's a way to try to clean it up. Martell didn't try nothing with her. Nothing happened. Carlos asked what she thinks. Mel laughs like, why are you asking me? Lord knows I do not care. She says, I don't know if I can trust anything that Trisha says, but I know that my husband will fuck anything. My ex-husband will fuck anything with legs. And he says, your numbers got to be higher than mine. She ignores him because that's what you do. You don't go back and forth with Martell about that, because he's always going to lie and act as if, oh, you didn't did this and you didn't did that. And he has no evidence of any of the shit that he's going to say. You have actual evidence of everything you done seen this bitch ass nigga doing, because the hoes come and tell you about it. Okay. Ariane, the girl that Ariane interviewed, they tell you in one way or another, but they let you know there was some other women. Destiny, I feel like, has shown us in one way or another. Like, everybody that showed us in one way or another if they was possibly getting dick down from Martell. And Trisha, the way Trisha has lied over and over again, it is absolutely and without a doubt given you had sex with that man. Hello? And then what did not make it better was him saying, I'm gonna be real with y'all. I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all. We slept together. And when he said it, I was like, this is another example of when somebody wants to get something off their chest. So they say it, but then they act like, oh, I'm just joking. It's a way to get the lie, like to get the truth out, but not to have to deal with the ramifications of it. But I feel like lying is hard for a lot of people, especially people who lack self-control, like Martell and Trisha. They seem to lack self-control. As you can see, they're always like bubbling, like they about to pop off or something. And so to me, I feel like when they lie, they know they have to lie to protect themselves, but it's not easy for them to do. The truth wants to come out. So I feel like in one way or another, they'll try to find a way to showcase the truth, even as they lie. And this was that for him. He, just like she was shaking her head yes and saying no, and then he comes and says, we slept together, and then says, oh no, I'm just joking. Yeah, no. I feel like y'all are telling us exactly what it is. Them people fucked. So it's like 2,700 of y'all in here, and I really, really appreciate that. Please do not forget to subscribe to my other channel, BondyBlue Bites, where I give bite-sized versions of my long-form content here on BondyBlue. Okay, on this channel. So make sure you follow the other channel, please, please, please. Now, y'all like the video up, and when we come back, we're going to get into this clip that was removed from YouTube TV and cable, but not the app Philo. And so it was put out there on Twitter. I have downloaded it, girl, and we're about to get into it. But do me a favor, can you please like up the video and support the channel? Thank you.
Anywhere you go, you belong. Anywhere you said, anywhere.
Okay. Y'all ready? All right. Y'all let me know if it echoes. I'm trying something different. I can't pause and play if I put it in here in order for it not to echo, and it's something I can't control. So I'm sharing screen, but we're gonna see. Okay. So let's pause right there and get into that first part. There's no sound, y'all said? There's no sound? Okay. Okay. Let me see. Cause that's weird, right? That's weird that there would be no sound. Y'all were seeing it though. Okay.
Like, don't get up here and like I've ever tried to touch you. I've ever came close to you. I've never done that. But you said you were nervous.
Like you weren't going around trying to have threesomes with your husband.
Girl, you are lying. Girl, I've never.
All right, well, let's run it. Did you not get on your knees and slap on a hook and a crook in the back of the limo on your 10-year anniversary in front of all these people? Did it happen?
What does that have to do with positioning
And you want to act like these women, they don't respect you. They should never see.
Okay. So I want to start with that part. So to me, it seems as if Destiny is saying she was groomed by Mel because Mel would have conversations about having threesomes with Martell in front of other people. And then they said, was it about Martell said it wasn't with you though. And she was like, no, but y'all had conversations about Mel having threesomes with other people, period. And I'm like, but that doesn't mean you. And I don't know about y'all, but I'm a grown ass person and I have been around people that have done those things. And I don't know if you've ever been to a sex club, but you could absolutely see people doing stuff. And that's not an invite for you to jump in. So the shit that Destiny is talking about, like, you don't even know what the fuck you're talking about, first of all, but you really just sound like you're trying to make Mel look bad because now you're talking about, but weren't you on your knees? But weren't you on your knees? And it's like, and if she was on her knees, isn't it her husband? Isn't it her husband, ma'am? Is it not okay for somebody to slob on their husband's corn on the cob on your anniversary? Now, as I said, I want to know if the shit happened in front of everybody. That's what I want to know. Or was this a conversation that was had? Because I would then have to understand what was going on that we wanted to keep Martell's ass so bad that we would suck dick in front of people that never did anything sexual in front of us. I'm not doing nothing sexual in front of people that's not on that same type of time. That's weird. And I feel like it sounded as if Letitia was saying that it was merely a conversation that they had. Not that it was something that actually took place, but it was something that Martell said. And Mel was like, sure. Mel was like, yeah, I'll do it. I'm just letting y'all know right now. I'm not sure. And I'm trying to understand, girl. I'm trying to understand. Hold up, y'all. I want to play the rest of the clip, but I want to get to it. I'm trying to find it on the Twitter. Girl, let me try to find it on the Twitter. But the Instagram is acting stupid right now as I'm trying to refresh the page. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Here we go, y'all. Make sure y'all like the video, like the video, like the video, like the video. Don't be a hater. It is not cute. It does not behoove you to act in such manners. Don't be a hater, girl, while drinking your juice in the hood, okay? All right. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Back into it.
I've never tried to touch you. I've ever came close to you. I've never done
Y'all on the
that.
same
I'm
bed?
so nervous
Y'all
about
on the same
what?
bed?
Did I say that?
But you said
Don't
you were
sit here and
nervous.
act like you weren't going around trying to have threesomes with your husband.
Girl,
weren't
you are
open to
lying.
it.
Girl, you
You weren't open to it.
I've never.
All right, well, let's
but
run
you know
it.
what? He
Did you
likes
not get on your
never
knees and
opposition.
slob on a hook and a
Let me
crook
tell you
in the back of the limo on your
Let me
10-year
tell you
anniversary in front of all of these?
So Tisha covered her face because Tisha's the one that told. That was obvious.
Let me tell you
Did it happen?
What does that have to do with
Did it happen?
What does that have to do
Everybody jealous of me. They don't respect you. They should have never seen that.
They don't respect you. Honestly, Destiny, nobody should respect you either. And if you knew this about them and you were still friends with them, why is that something you throwing in their face now? If it was her and Martell, I'm trying to understand why you only mad at Mel and not mad at Martell, because it was his dick. It was his dick. So why are you not mad at him?
Some Destiny.
You were grooming again. There's no reason for
Okay,
you to
let
be
me say this.
crooked in front of married men and women.
Yeah, if we're into that.
Well, let me tell you, be very careful.
Listen, the things I've done in college, girl, the things I did in college, I'ma just be real with y'all. And I still didn't want nobody to join in. What's going on with y'all?
About saying things that are inaccurate.
Was
Because
that
you're
inaccurate?
saying, let me say something.
Did you
You're
get on
saying
your
that I
knees?
was walking around grooming
Did you
somebody.
get on your knees?
I have to answer for you.
Well,
You
then I
weren't
have to
there.
answer.
Weren't there, but I'm gonna
But it happened. I'm not gonna get on my knees and slob on somebody's in front of people unless I want them to join in.
And that's very weird. That's very weird. It is pretty much known that if you go to any sex club, and this is a place where people are doing things like that, you have to ask for permission. And just because something is being done in front of you does not mean you can just join in. So I have no idea where you got that from.
That is what that is. That's grooming.
Did
Tisha,
you?
did you
Not.
ever feel like I was grooming you and Marcel to have a threesome with me and Martell?
Talk about the inappropriate
The way Marceau is looking at Letitia, it's like, you started this shit. Go ahead and answer.
text
I
that she
said
sent to
did-
Marcel.
What inappropriate text?
Yeah, talk about it. What inappropriate text did I send to Marcel?
Tisha.
Okay, so I feel like at the time when Destiny speaks on the limousine situation, the whole situation, the limousine was Martell's idea. It was Martell's suggestion. He suggested that. And Mel was like, okay. And he got upset. He was like, y'all not gonna do it? We was like, hell no, we ain't doing that. But it was Martell.
So the
Can
thing,
I ask about the inappropriate text?
And how did you hear about that? Because it was 6 people in the limo.
Oh, I told her when I was pissed off with Martell. When he
Okay. So when everybody acts like Tisha doesn't really dislike Mel and doesn't continue to do little slick, fucked up shit behind the scenes, this is an example of that. I'm trying to understand how being mad at Martell would make you talk about Mel sucking his dick. I need for you to make that make sense for me, because that does not make sense to me. To me, it seems as if you are always going to have an issue with Mel, and any opportunity to embarrass her, even if it's supposed to be about Martell, you're going to take the opportunity, Letitia. That's sad.
made the statement.
And also, how are you any worse than Martell? This is the shit that we be talking about. How are you any how are you any better than Martell? The way Marceau sat up there and talked about how he can't be friends with Martell because you tried to put your wife's video out there. What is it like? What does that say about Letitia that you would throw that out there? That Mel was sucking dick in the back of a limo. Like, you had kept that to yourself all that time.
At that adult game, that's when I was like, no, don't play me like that, dude. Like, stop it. But the inappropriate text message that I found out about later, Marcel texted Mel, and I think he was like, I'm rooting for you guys, or I want y'all to win, or something like that. And Mel was like, you mean me and Martell, or just me? And I just felt like that right there was not a good response to a married man.
Because Tisha is stupid. Only because Tisha is stupid and wants so badly to see an issue with Mel, you don't understand that, just as Mel has said plenty times, don't root for me and Martell because we're not getting back together. If you're going to root for somebody, root for me by myself. Don't root for me attached to him for us to be together, because you rooting for us to be together is for me to be being mistreated in a relationship. I think we all understood that at some point Mel got tired of y'all trying to make them stay together or wanting them to be together, because essentially it's just her being quiet about the abuse, her being quiet about how he mistreats her, not him actually changing his behavior. That's what staying with him and rooting for Mel and Martell to stay together means. Okay. So that's why Mel was like, don't root for that no more. Root for me by myself. That was not because she wanted your husband to root for her exclusively. Like, that's not what that meant. And the fact that you were stretching in order to find a way to make that male being inappropriate with your husband, to me, just showcases how he has caused triangulation between y'all. It's not about anything that Mel has said or done. It's really about the shit that Marceau does to keep you under control. And I think that what I have learned is if you keep a woman insecure, if she doesn't feel secure in how you feel about her, like not telling her that you love her, like not wanting to say, I don't cheat on my wife, I've never cheated, like not standing on business about her and her feelings, I think it leaves her open to feel insecure. And it makes it easier for him to play mind games with her. It makes it easier for him to get away with how he lies to Letitia because she's always off her mark, because she doesn't feel solid in the relationship. When you really want somebody to feel loved and cared for in a relationship, you do what is necessary to make them feel solid, right? Meaning that you tell them you love them in front of people. You know, if you really have not cheated on them, or even if you want to keep the lie alive, don't tell your wife, I can't answer that for you, Letitia. Don't do that. Actually say, no, I'm not cheating on you, bro. I'm not. Like, say the shit. Because you lying anyway. So you might as well lie and make her feel better, or at least try to make it look good to the public. But you didn't even give Tisha that. You didn't even give Letitia that, bruh. Like, you just left Letitia to kind of fend for herself. And that is a part of the reason why she wanted to divorce you. Because when are you going to make me feel like I'm the person that matters whenever this shit comes out? It really wouldn't have taken much for Marceau to defend Tisha, for Marceau to be on her side, for him. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though we know that Tisha does and says dumb shit and he couldn't always be on her side because it's not the way he would handle it, it still was times where he could have done something to showcase how he cared about her. And he would leave her hanging every time. I'm never going to get over the Vegas thing, him refusing to renew their vows. Why is that hard for you to tell this woman that you love her in front of all these cameras? Why was that a problem? Everybody felt like it was because it was somebody who you cheating with, who you don't want to upset. So you're not going to actually showcase how you feel about Tisha so that you can have that lie that y'all are together for the kids or y'all are together for the show. A lot of niggas play that game with women. Women see them on these reality shows and they lie to the women and say, oh, we just together for the kids. Oh, we just together because, you know, oh, the show, it's not real. We just seen Fabo do that shit on Love and Hip Hop Miami. And yes, let's not forget about when he took his ass to Africa without her and then had to make up for it and take her to Africa after the fact. After he went out there and spent what, a month or something without her. Like that shit was wild to me. Like, it's been so many times that this man has not done what he was supposed to do by her in order for us and for her to be insecure. I know everybody wants to like Marceau, but let's not forget how we got here.
Do you remember that melody?
I don't remember that text, but hearing her say it, you know, she's allowed to feel however she felt about it. I can say at times Marceau would text positive stuff. Maurice, like, I'm gonna keep it a buck. When everything went down, all of us were super close. So Maurice used to counsel me a lot. I know he used to talk to Martell a lot. Marceau used to try to talk. Everybody was trying to fix it.
And I want y'all to hear something. Do y'all hear when she said they tried to counsel? The mentor thing comes from the space of people giving me bad advice. That's what I think. I could be wrong, but I think that initially when everybody was giving their advice as older couples, Maurice is somebody that's been through a divorce before. You look at them as somebody you can trust whatever they're telling you. And then when you find out they knew what was going on the whole time and they played a part in it, it makes it sinister as fuck that they was coming to you telling you to stay with him when they knew what he was doing the whole time. And I think people leave that part of this out. Like, let's be for real, y'all. In real life, if your husband or wife is cheating on you and you find out that your entire friend group knew and nobody gave you the heads up, not a homeboy, not a homegirl gave you the heads up about the shit, and you had to find out on your own. Meanwhile, when you didn't know that they knew, they were trying to convince you to stay with him. So to me, I feel like when you really look back on how they tried to make her stay with him, it was sinister and it was self-serving. And so for me, yeah, I'm not going to look at the things that Nell Fletcher and Chris Fletcher did. I'm not going to look at the shit that Maurice and Marceau did as far as counseling as actual real counseling or real mentorship. I'm not going to look at it like that, because now that I actually see the situation for what it is, I'm going to think y'all was a whole bunch of people trying to keep the lie alive by convincing me to stay with a nigga who y'all know was cheating and dogging me out, and nobody ever told me shit. So when we want to remember that Mel has this I don't give a fuck attitude towards everybody this season, I just feel like everybody ignoring the pylon that's been taking place over the years.
If he texted me and said, man, I'm rooting for y'all, man, if I said me and Martell are just me, I probably wasn't fooling with Martell. Like, don't be rooting for me and Martell. Don't root for us. If you're going to root for me solo. But if she felt that was inappropriate for her, that's how she felt. What I can tell you is none of these folks up here on this stage, except the one I was once married to, have I ever came on to. Have I ever been appropriate? Fletcher and Nell are here. They've been around as well. Ask them. I don't try to sit around and do inappropriate. I'm not even finna entertain it, to be honest. It's weird. And they haven't come on to me either. Nobody. So it's just, I don't know. It's weird.
We did stuff like that. I wouldn't tell her to get her ass up and go home. We don't.
Basically saying that we don't swap couples, because if we did, I wouldn't have been looking at Destiny crazy this entire time, which showcases to me that Destiny is the one that wanted the threesome. Anything that Destiny is going to accuse Mel of, I need for y'all to commit to y'all memory that is probably something that she has done.
And the thing is, I trust my husband with my friends.
Do you? Because this whole line of questioning is not supposed to be for Mel, bitch. In the words of Kimmy, this line of questioning is not.
Like, they go through things. He give them advice. It is what it is. They're like my sisters. So I never thought anything about Marceau and Mel talking on the phone when her and Martell was going through the situation, or even before then, because Mel and Marceau used to get business advice from one another.
When she wanted to start public speaking,
she used to get advice from Marceau. Marceau would go to her meeting, give her tips. Like, so I never thought of anything.
Obviously, it's no secret, right, that you Original Six have a sort of legacy, a history of friendships. And me being present now, just doing the show for the past 7 years, I even don't think there was ever any lines being crossed when it comes to y'all's couples. I think the beauty of y'all even today that I do see is there is this very, sometimes dysfunctional, but there is this level of respect that you guys have just based on the history. And I don't believe for one second that any of you guys wanted each other.
So this is basically calling Destiny a liar right now.
I don't think that.
No. And Kimmy shakes her head no. Right?
The reason why we're bringing this up is because, again,
nobody disputes that. Destiny looks pissed that her lie did not live, because Carlos basically came up behind her yet again and set the record straight, saying, no, that's not what happened. So I just want y'all to clock. This is the second time that Carlos has had to come up behind something that Destiny has said on stage and say that she's lying. Okay? So I want to go to part 1, because there was a part 1 to this clip, you guys. And so I do want to play that. Let's get into that, and then I'm going to get out of here.
Martell, Melody, and you. Did Martell and Melody proposition you for a threesome?
I wouldn't say it was a proposition. It was just a lot of conversations about certain things and acts that have happened. And yeah.
So it wasn't a proposition. It was just a lot of conversation.
Is that true, Melody?
I don't know. I can't recall none of that.
Why you
Martell just said, I can't recall none of that.
smiling from ear to ear? I'm smiling. Oh, I see.
Maurice, what the fuck was that? Then why are you smiling? Is this not another time of you interjecting in order to speculate? Bitch.
Destiny, Melody would like you to elaborate, because she has no idea what you're talking about.
One of the conversations I will address is...
There's been more than one?
Yes.
Uh-oh. Oh.
But there would have been more openness to a threesome had Martell stopped cheating with.
That's a lie straight from hell.
That's
a lie. No.
Did you on your back porch? That conversation was had at your house.
A threesome between the three of y'all, or between?
That she was open to threesomes with Martell. Had he stopped cheating with?
No, she didn't.
No.
Okay, so how is it that there was an insinuation for you to have been groomed when what we found out is that when Mel allegedly was sucking dick, you were not there. And then with this specific situation, Martell just got you to admit that you were not the topic of conversation if they were talking about having a threesome. So how again are these examples of you being groomed? I need for y'all to clock that Destiny be fucking lying.
Oh, that was a conversation, but I felt like, why are we keep talking about this? Y'all talked about how y'all were in a hotel room and y'all started having sex and your was in the bed next to you.
Who talked about that? I'm sorry. Who had a conversation about something like that?
Y'all had a conversation with me about that.
I ain't had no conversation with that
Of course
at
you
all.
haven't.
No, I have not.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I have not.
Okay.
No.
Martell, is that true? Whatever Destiny said.
So now it's whatever Destiny says. So am I to believe, and this is what I think was being said. Melody's mom was in a bed next to them, and Martell and Mel was fucking, and the mama was in a bed next to them. That is what I'm hearing. That's what I think I might be hearing. And I would just feel like, oh, we was really in our freak stage. Cause like people act like things can't be done in a secretive way. Like, I don't know about y'all, but again, my college days, okay, you would do a lot of shit on the slick, on a sly, and people may not necessarily know what was going on, even if they was in the same room with you. I'm just saying. Either way, this is another situation that has nothing to do with her, and I don't know if it's true or not. But again, even if it was true, it doesn't prove your point.
No, honestly, no.
So did it happen? Did y'all start having sex in the room with her in the bed?
Honestly?
And she woke up and said, I know y'all not.
Okay, I'll be forgetting, so I believe you know this.
He said, I be forgetting, but I believe you now, Destiny.
I don't remember nothing like that happening
But
at all.
okay, but the thing is this.
And I'm actually taken aback.
Okay, Mel's response to that makes me feel like that's probably not true.
Threesome between Martell.
Hold up, it moved.
Sex and you're with me about that. I have sex in the
But it okay.
That happening at all.
But okay, but the thing is this.
And I'm actually taken aback.
So the thing is this, Destiny, when you made that comment on camera, and I want to make sure that if y'all all disagree, then let me know. But it appeared that these two requested a threesome with you
there were
specifically.
conversations, there were situations where it is grooming. For you to have those type of open conversations with people consistently, it's grooming.
So for us to talk about sex as friends and adults, that's grooming. So this is how you know you can't talk about sex with everybody, because people will accuse you of any and everything. This is fucking terrible. Y'all, this is terrible.
You asking me to spend a night at your house multiple times. Nell, you've been witness to that. Sex. You can stay over. Like,
Well, I told you need to get your ass something to go home.
Why is it funny? Why is it funny? Nell is straight faced.
There was many nights, me, you, Mel, Chris was up talking outside, having a good time.
And who didn't want to go?
You didn't want to go.
And you say,
Of course she didn't want to go, because she didn't want to go home. She probably wasn't staying nowhere nice at that time. Probably like being at Mel's house. Mel had a pool, all of that shit. Like, girl, stop fronting like you ain't want to spend a night by your friend's house because her house was nice and you was comfortable there. Or maybe because y'all was drinking. But why are you trying to make it seem like because somebody say if you need to stay here, it's because they trying to fuck you? Like, child.
and you have spent the night at my house. Like, so what? You spent, like, you were, well, what the hell was you were nervous? I don't get up here and like I've never tried to touch you. I've never came close to you. I've never done anything. I'm so nervous about blood. But you said you were nervous.
like you weren't going around trying to have threesomes with your husband.
I'm trying to understand what me having threesomes with my husband got to do with me grooming a grown-ass woman, because you described yourself as grown. When we asked you what your age was, you said grown, but somehow you were being groomed.
Girl, you are lying. Girl, you're not open to it. Never. But you know what?
Did you not get on your knees and slap on the hook of the cook in the back of the limo on your 10-year anniversary in front of your TV? Did it happen? Did it happen?
I think what everybody needs to learn from this is that you can't trust these hoes, even when they pretend to be your friend. You cannot trust these hoes, okay? Because you could think y'all cool like that, and y'all really not. Let me read these super chats. Brandy S, thank you for the super chat. Destiny is trash. Rest up there grinning. They all bit the hand that fed them this long. Enjoy those up to $2,500 an episode checks as long as you can. I know that's right. The Jail Slayer, thank you for the super chat. I need a session in hubby live once a month. Lady T, thank you for the super chat. Bondy, you have me cackling here at work. Nobody does it like you, my girl. I appreciate you. Thank you. Hey, DeQuasia, thank you for the super chat. K and K sisters, thank you. That limo situation is what Martell text Mel about when she met with Tisha and Marcel at Black, but they lied and said it was about Martell. Yeah, you right. You're right. You're right. She was like, no, I was talking about Martell. I wasn't talking about, and Mel was like, oh, so you wasn't talking about me? It's very much giving you fucking scary. So when Martell said, you really scared of Mel, she's sitting right there. Martell was telling the truth, but he was still trying to like deflect the shit off of him. Because essentially you was still the one that was lying about shit. Let's talk with Susu. Thank you so much for becoming a member, love. Lady B, thank you for the super sticker. Miss Goody Two Shoes, thank you for the super chat. So is this what Mel overheard Tisha and Destiny talking about at a reunion a few seasons back? Mel is vindicated. Okay, repeatedly she gets vindicated, but everybody act like when we are actually dealing in a brass tacks of these situations, oh, she just perfect. Like nobody ever said that, but that's what you gonna say because you don't want to deal with the facts of the situation because they don't align with the way you want to see this situation. Like I'm looking at it for what it is. Take your fucking feelings out of it. A lot of y'all got y'all feelings into it, and I just don't care enough for all that. Lovely lady Les, thank you so much for the super chat. Bondy, great job today as always. Thank you so much. The Quasia, thank you for the super chat. Boo, Carlos lost all professionalism points by not interjecting Destiny the minute she brought up being groomed. But that's because he wanted to let it happen. The same reason why he was supposed to edit that shit out, but it still ended up on Philo. Therefore, ending up on TikTok. Therefore, ending up on Twitter. Therefore, ending up here on YouTube, bitch. Okay? Dina, thank you for the super chat. I hope Mel sues. I do too. I do too. And I think a lot of people want Mel to sue Destiny for this. And I'm just kind of like, girl, at the end of the day, she ain't got shit for you to take. That's been made very clear. LeBaric then took whatever else. And then I heard that I guess when LeBaric got arrested, Destiny refused to give their child back once he was out. So she might be being reprimanded because she refused to give the child back on the week on, week off that they supposed to be doing. So yeah. It's a lot going on. LeBaric was in jail. Destiny might be back in jail. This will be her second or third, girl. I don't know. She probably got a history. Okay. Based on the way Destiny act, girl, she probably was out there stealing shit down to the mall. Okay. Destiny give like one of them girls that they boost. Destiny give a good boost in tea, bitch. Okay. Listen, that's how I feel to me. I don't know. But I definitely feel like she should be sued for that because I think that is a horrific thing to put out there. First of all, you putting out there that she groomed you, but then you're using these situations that really make Mel look like some type of out of control, like honestly, like drugged out or I'll do anything to please my man type shit. Cause sucking dick in front of them people, mad weird, right? You know what I'm saying? That's why I said it's not that she did it in front of other married couples because everybody grown. There are married couples that's cool with that shit. There are married couples that's down for that shit. As I said, I think Kimmy and Maurice might have been one of the married couples that was down for that shit. Okay. Either way, for it to have been used the way it was used in order to act as if somebody was trying to groom somebody is complete and utter bullshit. Like there are a lot of people that like to watch that don't want to join. There are people that like to be watched but don't want nobody to join that they don't want to join. So your whole like conceptualization of that is bullshit and fraudulent. And I feel like your intention to malign Mel and make her look bad the way Martell has, I think most of that shit you're saying is basically from Martell and Tisha, the other half. But I feel like it's to make Mel look like a slut. And I think that that's something that Martell has been trying to do since she divorced him, trying to make her look like she's some slut in order to make it seem as if what he did to her wasn't as fucked up as it was. And to me, no. That's not how any of this works, because at the end of the day, whatever she was doing in the confines of her marriage. And what the Bible say, the marriage bed cannot be defiled. So that means to me, as long as the two married people wanted to do whatever the fuck they was doing, then nobody else is going to make them feel like shame or guilt about it. That's why I wish that when Mel is, when they come at her with these accusations, because let's not forget, Martell been trying to bring this up for years. It's been years of him trying to bring this up. Oh, so you ain't give nobody head? Y'all remember when they had a reunion show and Martell tried to make it seem like Mel was in a hotel giving somebody head or something like that, and it was talked about in a phone conversation? Y'all remember that? To me, I feel like it was always him trying to put that out there because he knew he had that video of her doing it to him. And so he could always make it seem as if that was somebody else. So to me, I feel like Marcel has been trying to put Mel out there like that bad for a long time now. And that should show you that he's not a good parent. Because why would you continuously keep trying to slut shame the mother of your children as if how she's seen out there is not going to affect your children? Like, at the end of the day, I feel like Mel really tried to support Martell and break up amicably and still do what they needed to do for their children. I think she really tried. And I think Martell made it so hard to handle him with the kid gloves. I can remember that. Remember they went to that counseling session and he was getting emotional and she was trying to woo him. And he was like, get off me, Mel. Like, I think Mel has tried to handle this in a way that protects the children. I think Martell has not. I think that Martell is not the type of person that thinks about that. His feelings always come first, right? And I believe that's who he is as a person. So anytime he acts outside of that is usually a manipulation. So people will think he's a good guy. So that whenever somebody tells the truth about him, there will be a whole bunch of people that's like, no, that's not Martell. Martell's a good guy. It's like Narc 101, to be very real. Like, it's not hard. Abby, thank you for the super chat. Someone said this lie is giving Candy Phaedra. Yeah, we've been talking about that. It's obvious. I mean, Carlos was a producer on Real Housewives of Atlanta the same season that Phaedra and Portia came up with that lie to come to us with the bullshit about Candy and Todd down to the sex dungeon. Yes. And after that, Carlos was no longer working for Bravo and kind of had fell from grace. And so I do feel as if I'm not blaming this on him, but I think that there is some karma. There might be some karma or something attached to the fact this is very similar to what happened last time. And he's continued to say that he had nothing to do with that, but he didn't work thereafter. So I don't know. Mama Sue, thank you for the super chat. Tisha is saying that Mel is like a sister equals Judas. Girl, absolutely. Absolutely. I was like, I don't even think she was talking about Mel. She's talking about her other friends that we never see because they don't never be on the show. Everybody that's always talking about Mel don't have no friends. Have y'all seen Tisha's other friends on the show consistently? Talk to me, because I haven't seen any. Because in my mind, Tisha might have like people who she's friends with, but that doesn't mean that Tisha's a good friend to anybody. I don't feel like Tisha was a good friend to Kimmy. As soon as Kimmy wasn't willing to lie in order to protect, the fact that y'all were giving Melody shit behind her back and all of that. As soon as Kimmy didn't want to lie with you, then all of a sudden it was fuck Kimmy. And then y'all basically bullied Kimmy into going along with y'all lies from here on out. So, yeah. It's been a lot. Trina Jersey, thank you for being a member for 9 months. I'm confused on how Destiny is saying her story was not finished. We still don't know anything more about her or her life. Because she don't want to tell the truth about her life, because she's one of those people that projects the image. They don't really showcase who they really are, but then you start to see the cracks, right? Because you keep getting arrested. You're not paying your bills. You staying in a house that you wasn't supposed to be staying in. You keep starting business, after business. You just lie and throw crazy ass assumptions out there about people, and then you act like it never happened. Like, she does a lot of things that contradict. Like, you acting like you got class and you got sense, but you trying to throw a fucking chair at Stormy. Like, it's a lot of stuff that showcases that she is not the person that she projects herself to be. You got to pay attention to what they do and not just what they say, and not just how they carry themselves. It has to be a culmination of things in order for you to be able to believe somebody. And I'm trying to, yes, I want to know, is LeBaric and Martell still friends? That's a good question, Ashley Nicole. That's a good question. Because we would all like to know. Inquiring minds want to know. Okay. Now, this was part 2, girl. You know, there's going to be a part 3. I haven't decided if that's going to be behind the paywall or not, but I damn sure wanted to come to y'all on a public live for this one because we just straight up lying. They just straight up lying and then being sloppy about editing it out to the point that it still made Philo, still came out. I think that was intentional. I do. I think it was intentional so that a piece of it would come out. And now that a piece of it came out, I really hope that there's some litigation that takes place because you are not supposed to be able to just throw shit out there like that about people and malign them in such a way. That is such a harsh thing to do. I have been accused of some shit like that before. And when I tell you, it is literally one of the worst things ever to have somebody accuse you of some shit like that. Like, especially if that's so not how you get down at all and would never push yourself on somebody that don't want you. Like, are you serious? Are you serious? Samantha LV, thank you for the super chat. This is also a way of Destiny A being male on behalf of Martell, but wants us to believe that she is a DV victim. Trash. Yeah, it is given that. It is given abuse by proxy. It is. Thank you so much, Crystal, for being a member for 66 months, my boo. Melody was really sleeping with her enemy. A lot of women are. A lot of women are sleeping with their enemy. You got to pay attention. But, you know, if y'all clock, y'all know I've been saying that Martell was jealous of Melody since season 1. Please believe me. Okay? But that's all I got for y'all with this. It's been 2 hours. It's been a long live. I think I covered it all. So hopefully, you know, the next part will be good. We can get into further how Trisha liked the lie. Maybe we'll get into why Ken stays around. What's going on there? Why is Marquez coming out like, you know, on bended knee, nigga? It is not Boys to Men. Like, that lady do not want you. Martell acting like he don't really care. And it's like, mm-hmm. No, for real. I want to see how Martell is going to react because I think that Marquez is prettier than Martell, right? For attractive men, Marquez is prettier, right? So in the room with a man in good shape, but also with the light eyes and the freckles and all of that bullshit that y'all, you know, colorist people like to put on pedestals in this country. I really can't wait to see like how Martell responds to that. He was acting like he didn't care. But I can't wait to see how he responds to it. How you gonna act? Because I heard that man was, you know, trying to get with Ariane too. That man was just all over the place trying to fuck with everybody that Martell didn't fuck with. He mad about Martell fucking with Trisha. So now he's trying to come for Mel. I heard he was flirting with Ariane. It's a lie. It's a lie. Okay. Um, yes. Nobody should have been accused of grooming at all. It never made sense. Her explanations didn't make sense. The fact that you would even say that happened did not make sense. Girl, you just a liar from the pits of hell. Hello? A liar from the pits of hell. Hello? Well, with that being said, girl, I'm done. I hope y'all enjoyed the live. I enjoyed y'all. Thank y'all for coming. Make sure you subscribe to this channel and BondyBlue Bites. Like the video, share it, clip it. Do what you gonna do, girl. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Okay, hold up. Can I get my outro video to work this time? Let me see. Oh,